Bit longer than normal, so I'll try and shuffle through it as quickly as I can. Get your pens and pencils out, paper, etc., and get ready to take some notes, because this is actually a topic we haven't necessarily discussed or talked about before, and this particular area is what you'll be tested on to at least get a B. So we're going to be talking about different types of points of view, as well as my expectations for how you're going to put together the paragraph analysis on point of view and its ability to affect suspense. So at the end of this tutorial, you should know how to explain character point of view and how it helps to create the suspense effect, and expectations on how to create that paragraph analysis on your next proficiency. So here we go. What is point of view? Well, it's basically the how of the narrator. It's the way the author allows you as the reader to hear and see what's going on. So straight from our language arts vocab sheet, the one that I gave you at the beginning of the year and told you not to throw away, it says that point of view is the perspective from which the story is told. So nice, short, and sweet example. Now, on your language arts vocab sheet, it actually only gives you 3 different types of point of view, or subsects of point of view. And I think our state really is just looking at like a short and simple way to explain it, but I'm going to give you a couple of more ideas to be thinking about in the back of your head. So the first one on your vocab sheet is first person point of view, and then I believe it's third person and third person omniscient, but I'm talking about a couple more beside that. So first person point of view is where the narrator is the character in the story, and you're going to see a lot of examples that say I or we, and you're seeing into the mind of that character. Second person is where the narrator is telling you your story, or usually this is used for instructions. So it'd be something like you're looking for a lot of you usage. Example, first you should do your homework, kind of a thing. Okay, so now moving into the different types of third person. So there's one called third person objective. Again, you might not have ever heard this before. Seems like third person is used, and then third person omniscient, but they never break it down more than that. So third person objective is where the narrator tells his or her story but doesn't reveal any character's thoughts or feelings. So they maybe only reveal it through their feelings or actions, but it's not directly stated. So he went home after school. A man drove by and yelled, "Hey, watch it." So not necessarily super descriptive, and you're kind of having to guess the implied meaning as it's not directly stated. Third person limited is where the narrator tells you his or her story and reveals only one character's thoughts or feelings. So sad that his girlfriend broke up with him. Ben wasn't paying attention as he went home. A man drove by and yelled, "Hey, watch it." Alright, now third person omniscient. This is where the narrator is telling his or her story, but then also reveals more than one character's thoughts or feelings. So you can see into the idea and minds of others. So sad that his girlfriend broke up with him. Ben wasn't paying attention as he went home from after school. John was really upset as he was driving by Ben, and John tried to startle him by yelling, "Hey, watch it." So you're getting into a couple of different people's heads with that one. So third person is more than just saying third person point of view. So how do you identify point of view? Well, before worrying about the different levels of third person, first try and check and see if it's first or second. So eliminate those, and then you can dive deeper into the text to figure out the different levels of third. So really you should be asking whose story is the author telling, his, mine, someone else's, and that will help you kind of narrow it down. Don't necessarily focus only on dialogue, focus on the telling of the story or the narration of the story. So we're going to look at a couple of examples, and I would like for you to tell me what type of point of view they are. So I think I've got 4 examples here. So yeah, number 1 to 4 in your notes, and read the examples, and then just write down what you think they are. So go back to your notes, look at your definitions for each type, and identify what they are. Go ahead and pause the video so you can read and write down your example. When you're done, unpause, and we'll keep going. Okay, back to the notes. We'll check those tomorrow in class, by the way. All right, don't forget to label the story that you're working on when we're talking about how to put together this paragraph analysis on point of view and its help in creating that suspense. So don't forget to label what you're working on. State what the point of view is being, what point of view is being used for this story, and explain how it creates that suspense. So, using academic language as much as possible, describe how you as the reader are envisioning this suspense or feeling or experiencing this suspense through the eyes of the character. So example here, seeing through the eyes of the narrator and his absolute terror at the situation added a touch of reality and suspense to the story. So you're talking about how you were able to see through the character and how that created the suspense. Describe how the effect of the suspense was created and kind of link it back to the narrator's or the character's point of view. Use academic language as much as possible. So anytime you want to say how the dialogue here, and then maybe you insert a quote and you show that the stutter steps of the dialogue that lead you to feel as the reader that the character is slowly going insane or something, and how that lends itself to your eventual understanding of the suspense and movement of the story. Just try to use a quote as much as possible and explain how you as the reader are experiencing it through the character's point of view. So finally, a little bit more tips and tricks here. Depending on how the story is written, you should be able to see into the mind of the character. If the character is crazy, like I've been saying, and it's well written in a way that you can feel that craziness coming up off the page, that will help add to the dimensions of the story, both from the author's perspective and from your perspective, but that is what you actually would end up writing about. So it ultimately affects how you as the reader see the story. So you're explaining how the story was written and made you feel as the reader, and that will definitely benefit your explanation of the paragraph. So as you read a piece of fiction, think about these things. How does the point of view affect your response to the characters? How is the response influenced by how much the narrator knows and how objective he or she is? Be thinking that first-person narrators are not always super trustful, as you're not necessarily getting a lot of the information that you need to make that decision. So it's really up to you to determine what is the truth and what is not. So be careful in those first person. Be really paying attention to what level of third person it is and how you can best explain that. That's going back to using academic language. If you can say not only that it's third person, but that you believe it's third person limited, you've already shot yourself into a whole nother category as a student. So huge to be able to start memorizing and understanding those different concepts and how it breaks down even more. All right. I tried to go fairly fast. We'll see how you did. We'll check our answers since we don't have school. Tomorrow we'll wait until Tuesday and check on how well you did on those applying your knowledge skills 1 through 4. So you're finished. Don't forget to do the digital whisk. And again, we'll check it in class soon. All right. Thanks, guys.